Good afternoon. Exciting to be back at practice on the field. It's as I said yesterday, it's one of the best times of the year, I think, for us as coaches and players, and really as a program, to really go out there and work at our craft. But we've got a lot of work to do. I didn't think the practice was particularly clean. I didn't think we were particularly accurate throwing the football at any of the spots at quarterback. I think we've got a lot of quarterbacks playing right now, and I think that's hard to do, and it looked hard today. So, as I said, we're going to take a couple practices, and then we're going to start to maneuver the reps in a way where we can hopefully progress the offense. Questions?
What happened today, it doesn't change your going forward? You're thinking that by the end of the third practice on Saturday, that's when you'll start to
I think so.
change the reps?
I think so. I don't want to overreact to today, but I don't want to live in denial of it either. It wasn't good enough, and if we're going to start really making progress as an offense, we're going to have to start limiting the reps that everybody takes. I don't think you can have a football team where you rep 5 quarterbacks, and we're going to do that for the first 2 to 3 practices, and then as we get into next week, we're going to have to have a little different plan.
Kyle, you say want it cleaner. What kind of things in particular did you say?
No, I don't think the timing is great between the quarterbacks and receivers, which is probably the normal, for this point in spring. I think when you have that many quarterbacks under center, the cadence is going to be different. Not everybody's cadence is exactly the same, even though we're using the same counts. So that's hard on the linemen and the tight ends, and people aren't getting off the ball at the same time. There's not a rhythm to the cadence that you'd like to have. So I think it's those types of things.
Did anybody pop out at you? I mean, just to the naked eye?
It's always. That's always. I know I'm going to get that question, and I realize that. So as I watch practice, I try to see if there are some people who flash. And until you look at the film, you don't want to overreact to anything you see, from a positive or a negative standpoint. I think there's a couple of guys who made some plays today. A guy like Miles Nash made a few plays today. He picked one ball off, and he tipped the ball and ended up getting intercepted. And I think that was really good. I saw Cam Lott out there for the first time. He made a nice play, but the pads aren't on yet. And until the pads go on practice 3, I don't know that you really can be overly impressed with any of that stuff. Like I said, as a team, I think we've got a lot to work on. But the one thing that I always look for day one is just the enthusiasm and the excitement of the players to not only practice hard but to be coached. And it seemed like we had a group of players out there that really were looking to be coached today, and that was probably the most positive thing I saw on the field.
Kyle, Leonte was having this kind of breakout year last year and then missed those last 3 games with the upper body injury. Can he pick up where he left off at no lingering effects from that injury? And do you need him to be kind of fill that number 1 receiver role?
I think by the time we get to the season, Leonte will be 100% healthy, and there's no reason to think that that the production that he had this year, he won't have the opportunity to have it next year. Now, as I've said before, at receiver, you can't guarantee a guy a certain number of catches a game. It's not like running back where you can handle the ball and you can make a decision before the game that we're going to hand somebody the ball 25 times and then do it. At receiver, it's a little bit different. There are things defenses can do to make the quarterback look in other directions. But I think Leonte will continue to work on his craft, and next year he'll be a better player than he was last year.
Will he be a full participant in the spring? I know he wasn't listed on the injury report, but
as of right now, he is. But I'll reserve the right to modify that as we go.
right.
Kyle, did you get a chance to see Ian or TJ at all?
I saw both guys. Yeah, I saw both guys, and I think what I see are guys that are working. Yeah, I think both guys are working, and I think we're going to need the full spring, I think, to really evaluate both those guys, and not just them, a lot of others.
How did you feel like the coaching chemistry was? It was the first time this group was actually together coaching players. Did you like what you saw?
I did. I thought the practice ran smooth. I thought, watching Ben and Mike work with the receivers, I thought they had a good plan to make sure that they utilized the manpower and the individual attention that they were able to give, and seeing Ralph with the quarterbacks and then working with the running backs, the tight ends, the receivers, and maneuvering through that. I thought all that flowed very well, and I think the coaches as a whole were very professional about how they went about their business. So I think it's not the first time I think any of them are with the new staff. So it went smooth.
Kyle, Sebastian Joseph, how does he look physically, and what do you like about moving him to the nose tackle?
Physically, he looks very good. I would have said that before spring break. Really watching him in the winter program. So that part we're excited about. We played him a little bit at nose guard during bowl prep, So we got him some work there. We got a chance to look at him. I know today from being close to where Coach Panagos was in practice, although you don't necessarily need to be that close to him to hear him. I know he wasn't always aligned exactly where he was supposed to be, and I think those are things that'll get cleaned up. And he's a young guy, and we have high expectations for Sebastian. He's talented, and he's had a good offseason, and we're counting on him to help us this year.
Got time for two more.
What do you expect out of Ruhan now to be back full time, and obviously there's a chance to step up into a bigger role? Or
Full time as of today.
Well, okay.
I reserve the right to alter that also, but the only thing I need Ruhan to do is to come every day and be the competitive person that he is, because he's got the talent to make the plays on offense. But what he adds to our football team from a competitive standpoint is at such a high level. I think he's a fun guy to coach and a fun guy to be around.